ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधाकांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थसुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदयादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आविश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहैतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 46, verse number 20. In the previous class we read that Uddhava, he arrived in Braja and then he was received nicely by Nanda Maharaj, was worshipped and he was given nice food to eat, and then they spoke. So Nanda Maharaj asked Uddhava about the welfare of Vasudeva and then about Krishna. And his main point was that will he ever come to see us. So in this verse and the following verses, he is continuing to speak about Krishna, remembering him. Davagnervat varshacha vrisha sarpacha rakshitaha duratyebhyo mrityubhyaha krishnena sumahatmana. He says that Krishna, who is a great soul, he protected us from the forest fire, from the wind, rain, from bull, from snake, and many other such problems which were difficult to conquer or surpass, which would lead to death. So he protected us from all these different calamities. Smartam Krishna Viryani Leelapang Nirikshatam Hasitam Bhashitam Changa Sarvanah Stilaha Kriya. And now we are unable to do anything because we are remembering Krishna's heroic acts and his beautiful glances, his smile, his words, and all other activities which he performed. So just remembering those activities, we are unable to perform our daily duties. So Sri Vishnu Chakravarti says, Nanu naiva marishyatha bahu kalameva tam swasutam lalayanto jivishyatha iti. So as if Uddhava tells Nanda Maharaj, because in the previous sloka he said that will he ever come to see us once at least, when, so that we can see him and then die. So he says, no, don't, you will not die, because Krishna, who is your son, he will come and stay with you and you will live long life while taking care of him. So then Nanda Maharaj says, Tatra adhuna tu mrityu hastanna muchyamahe iti bhaktum atitan mrityun ganayati. So he says that if this is true, then why he is not coming and protecting us from the mouth of death? And as if saying this, he is remembering the various activities which Krishna did to protect them from death. Beginning with Davagne. Davagne riti Sumahatmana Mahasnehemaya Svabhavena. So he is calling him as Sumahatma. Not only Mahatma, Mahatma means great person, but Sumahatma, very great person. So he says, why is adding Su to Mahatma? He says because he has a very affectionate nature. He is very loving, kind and compassionate. So Mahatmas may do welfare, but they may not be full of love like Krishna. So that's why he is Sumahatma. Kintu adhuna Sumaha Vadava Nalat Katham Natena Rakshamahe iti na janima. So he says, but now we don't know. In the past, he protected us from so many problems. So why is he not protecting us from this big forest fire of separation from him? Why is he not coming? Nanu tadiya mukhchandra smarana sudhaya eva sarve santapa shamyanti. So Uddhava says that just remembering his beautiful face, all miseries disappear. So why you are saying that he is not coming to protect? Just remember him. So he says, Satyam. Nanda Maharaj says, yes, this is true, but now his remembrance itself is causing us trouble. More we remember, more we are in trouble. Satyam tatsmarnam sarvasantapaharamapi samprati duradrishta vashadasmakam sarvasantapkaram eva bhutatya. So it is true that simply remembering Krishna, all problems disappear, but now for us it is the other way around. Instead of our miseries disappearing, miseries are coming. He is called Santapahara, or one who takes away the suffering, but now he has become Santapkara, one who is the giver of trouble. And with that intention, he speaks the present verse, Smaratam Krishna Viryani. So he says, Kriyasthila iti snana bhojana panadya abhyas prasad jayamana api samprati sthili bhavanti atevana jiva maiti bhava. So, na sthila kriya, that says that we are not able to perform even our regular normal bodily functions such as eating, taking bath, drinking. Even these activities we cannot do. Not only that, we cannot do other things like feeding the cows, because these things people do just by normal routine. There is not much thought which goes into these things. You can think of so many things and eat or drink or take bath, but it says even these we are unable to do because our mind is so much carried away in thoughts of Krishna that even we don't know that we have to eat. We forget to eat or drink or go to bathroom. So therefore, this is why I am saying that we will not survive like this, because at least you need to take care of the basic needs for survival, and we are unable to do that now. So this happens even in material world. In separation, sometimes people lose their some dear person, and then it's very difficult for them to eat or have good sleep or take care of their body. They become very disoriented, and even if others want to feed them, they don't eat. They don't feel like eating. They lose their hunger. So what to speak of Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda, Brajvasis who had so much love for Sri Krishna that they are unable to perform even their basic activities. Sarichala vanodeshan mukunda padabhushitan akrina ikshamananam manoyati tadatmatam. So he says everything here is reminding us of Krishna. If you see the river Yamuna, that reminds us of Krishna, how he was playing in it. If we see Govardhan, that also reminds us of Krishna, how he was tending his cows and Govardhan. He lifted this Govardhan. Vanodeshan, if you see the forest, if you see the land, says everything reminds us of him. Why? Because everywhere his footmarks are there. Mukunda pada bhushitam. So it appears that Krishna has left indelible footmarks in Braja, that even when he left, his footmarks were there, and they were just reminding them of Krishna. And Akridani Ikshmananam, and all his plays, the activities we did, the places where he played. So when we see this then our mind becomes completely absorbed in that we cannot do anything. Become stunned, stambhita. So this is our situation. So Uddhava tells to Nanda Maharaj, Nanu yadi evam tarhi grihavasthane putra smarnam adhikam syat atastatyagaya swameva gah palayata bhavta yamna tirado brahmyatam iti ashankya tena pratikaram gyapayati. So Uddhava is giving a solution. He says that you are sitting here at house and therefore you remember him more. You should go out. Sometimes if you live in a house, then house reminds you, because everything in the house reminds you of the person who lived there. Sometimes somebody dies, some young son or somebody dies in family, people change the house because everything reminds of that person. So Uddhava says, you sit here, then you remember him all the time, so you should go to forest to take the cows yourself. Although you don't have any need, but this will bring a change of mind. Do something, engage yourself. So then he says that that's even a bigger problem. Because wherever we go, we only see Krishna. Whatever we see, then it reminds us of him only. So how is this possible? So if we go to Yamuna, then it reminds us of Krishna, how he was playing here. If we go to forest, it reminds us of him. So wherever we go, it reminds us of him only. It is not possible to forget him. So sarit desha pradesha tadatmatam tatspurti metam tasmin lintam. So whether it is river, whether it is mountain, whether it is Govardhan, any other place, it only brings us the spurti of Krishna and nothing else. And our mind becomes absolutely absorbed. Taspurti metam tasmin lintam. So mind does not come out of it. It becomes so much absorbed that we don't even know how the time has passed or where we are or what are we supposed to do. We forget everything. So that's our situation. Manye Krishnam cha Ramam cha prapta viha surottamo suranam hadarthaya gargasya vachanam yatha. So now there was a change in the mood of Nanda Maharaj, and he's still speaking of Krishna and Balaram, but a little different mood. He says that I consider that Balaram and Krishna, they are some devatas. They are the best of the devatas, and they have taken birth here to Vasudeva and myself, because as far as Nanda Maharaj was concerned, for him Krishna was born to him and Balaram was born to Vasudeva. So he says they are Surottama, they are the best of the Suras, and Prapta here. They have come here. Why have they come here? It says Suranam Mahadarthaya. It says they have come here to do the great job for the Devas, so that they can eliminate all the Asuras. And how do I know this? Gargasya vachanam yatha. Because Gargacharya told this to us when his name-giving ceremony was performed, and he said that Narayana Samogunai, that he is qualities of Narayana, and he was also born earlier to Vasudeva. So Vishlesmaya Priti Jati Swabhava Deva Sahasa Spuritena Tad Aishwaryena Kshanam Labdha Viveka Ivaha. So this is also the characteristic of separation, that when there is a separation, then the Aishwarya mood becomes prominent. It is seen many times, some person is there, then you don't so much bother about his good qualities or his greatness or anything. But if that person goes away or somebody, he dies, then after that his great qualities are remembered. So that is obviously, that is what Aishwarya is. So he says that Vishlesmaya Priti Jati Swabhava Deva. He says because he was in the separation, in the mood of separation, and this is the nature of Priti or love in separation, that it brings the Aishwarya mood. So suddenly his mood changed and he started remembering Krishna's superhuman characteristic. Aishwarya means superhuman nature. So Kshana Labdha Viveka Ivaha. So as if he got a Viveka, he was able to suddenly realize that actually Krishna is not what we are thinking. He is Surottama, he is God. Manyaiti, I think, iha madgrihe praptau mamacha vasudevasya cha bhagyat putra bhut. So because of some great fortune, they have born in my house and Vasudev's house as Krishna and Balram. So he is thinking now that Krishna is not just his son, but he is some great Deva. Suranam arthaya kamsadi shatruvad lakshanaya prayojanaya mahat gambhiram gargasya vachanamyata. So why has he come here? What was the need for him to be born? Because he says it's a good fortune. Okay, good fortune for you, but he must have some purpose to come. Why should he come and make you fortunate? So he says he has come to do some job for the devatas, and that is killing of Kamsa. So Kamsadi Shatru Vada Lakshana, because they were burden on earth and no one else could kill them, so they came. So this is the great work that they have come to do. And how do I know this? He says, this I understand from the statement of Garga Muni. So, Suranam Mahadartha Gargasya Vachanamyata. How do you know that they are actually Suras, even if Garga Rishi had said? Then he speaks the next verse. Kamsam Naga Yuta Pranam Mallau Gajapatim Tatha Avadhishtam Līlayaiva Pashuniva Mrigadhipa. So he says that otherwise how was it possible that Krishna, he killed Kamsa, who had strength of 10,000 elephants. He was extremely powerful person. For any human being to have the strength of one elephant, he will be Olympic champion, break all records. But he says 10,000 elephants. And then similarly there are all these wrestlers, Chanura, Mustika, Toshala, Shala, all that. And then the elephant himself was there, Kovalya Pida, who is also super elephant. He was not a normal tusker. He was Gajapati, he was the chief. So he says that Krishna killed them just like that. how is it possible if he was a human being like us that he could kill an elephant simply by his hand without any weapon or anything like that? And then he killed these wrestlers just by slapping them, kicking. So he says, Līlaya eva avadhishtam. So avadhishtam is using for both Krishna and Balaram. That Krishna and Balaram, they killed these people just as if they are playing, like a child can break a toy without much effort. So they did like this. And just like a lion may kill a deer. So Pashun iva mrigadhipa. So killing a deer for a lion is not a very big effort. You can kill an elephant. So what to speak a small deer. Talatrayam mahasaram dhanuryashtimive bharat babhanjaya kaina hastena saptaham adadhat girim. So he is now referring to some more extraordinary activities of Krishna. He says that he broke the bow which was Talatrayam, which was long, about 270 feet. And it was very strong, Mahasaram. It's a very powerful bow. So Dhanur Yashti Meve Bharat. He says he broke it just like an elephant can break a sugar cane stick. Elephants love to eat sugar cane. You have seen them eating sugar cane. They love it. But it's not a big problem for them to break. They take their trunk, catch it, uproot and eat. So he says Krishna broke this huge bow just like an elephant breaks. Babhanjaya kena hastena, with one hand only. Did not use two hands to break it. He just took it like you can take a papad and crush it with one hand. Will it take much strength? So like that he did. Babhanjaya kena hastena. And then this is nothing. Saptaham adadhat girim. For 1 week, day and night, he kept Govardhan on his one little finger. So how can he be human being? So this is his mood of Aishwarya out of love. So Tala Shashti Hast Pramanaka Parinata Tala Vriksha Ekena Vaminaiva. So Tala is supposed to be 60 hands long. One hand is 1.5 foot. So Parinata Tala Vriksha means long grown up Tala tree. And he broke this just by one hand. And that also left hand, not right hand, because left hand is weaker for the rightists. There are two types of parties, leftist and rightist, right? So leftist people have their left hand strong, rightist have right hand strong. So Krishna is rightist. So he broke the bow in the left hand. And he was holding the Govardhan also in the left hand, because with the right he was playing the flute. Pralambo dhenuko rishta trinavarto bakadayaha datyaha surasarajito hata yene halilaya. And this is not enough, but he also killed all these Daityas, Asuras, Pralambasura, Dhenkasura, Rishtasura, Trinavarta and Bakasura, and Aghasura, Vatsasura, Keshi, so many of them. And these were not ordinary Asuras. They had defeated all the Suras and also other Asuras. Surasura Jita. They were victorious over both Suras and Asuras. And Krishna, he killed all of them just in a play, Hatayeni Līlaya. So there is no commentary on this. Sri Shuka Vacha. Sri Shukdev said, Iti samsritya Nandaha Krishna Anurakta-dhihi Atyutkantho Bhavat Tushnim Prema Prasara Vivvalaha. So in this way, when Nanda Maharaj was remembering Krishna, and after remembering again and again, Nanda Maharaj, whose mind was completely attached to Krishna, he became very utkantita, very excited out of love, and then he fell silent. Why? Prema prasara vivala. Out of love, so much love swelled in his heart that he was unable to speak. His voice choked, tears were coming from his eyes, and he could not say anything. So he became silent. Krishna Anurakta Dhiriti. So he is explaining this Krishna Anurakta Dhir, his mind attached to Krishna. Smrityarudha Maha-Aishwaryena api Hanta Hanta Etadrish Aishwaryavata Gun Ratnakarena Saputrena Durdrishta Vashad Vislishto Abhuvamiti. So he is remembering, and he is remembering his Aishwarya, Krishna's majestic power, superhuman characteristic. And alas, alas, etadrish Aishwarya Bata Gunratna Karena, that Krishna, who is having such majesty, that he is an ocean of qualities, but although he is my son, because of misfortune, I have become separated from him. So he is blaming himself for this, that this must be my bad luck, that Krishna, who is so great, who is so wonderful, so majestic, and did so many wonderful deeds, and now I have become separated from him. So although I am fortunate that he is my son, but now highly misfortunate that I am separated. Krishna anurakta iva dhir natu vasudeva vat aishwarya gandhena api stilasva sambandho asankuchita anuraga dhiryasya. So he is commenting on this word Krishna anurakta dhi and comparing Nanda Maharaj to Vasudeva. So these descriptions are also to show us the greatness of love of Vrajvasis for Krishna in comparison to the love of Dwarka and Mathura Vasis. That how their love is so supreme that even when they remember Krishna's superhuman acts, divine acts, still they don't give up the idea that he is our son, or he is our friend, or he is our lover, he is one of us. They don't just start worshipping him like he is God and we should worship him. So this is the intensity of their love for Krishna, that all this knowledge of Aishwarya is unable to subdue their love for him. In contrast, Vasudeva is different. That when he gets the Aishwarya mood about Krishna, then he does not treat him like son. Then he treats him as Bhagavan. So that is the import of the word Krishna Anurakta Dhi. That his mind still remains focused on Krishna only as his son. Although he is describing, and then the Aishwarya takes the primary position. So that's why when Krishna went to Vasudeva and Devaki, they did not embrace Krishna and Balram, because they are thinking, oh, he is so great. Even when he was born, they were praying to him. So that's how from the very birth they had that knowledge. Because when Krishna was born in the prison house, he appeared as Vishnu. So their knowledge of Krishna as Bhagavan is from the very beginning. Nanda Maharaj did not see Krishna as four-handed or anything like that. Later on, therefore, whenever he saw all these superhuman activities of Krishna, he would attribute these to Narayana. That it is by the blessing of Narayana that it is happening. But he is my son, how can he do this? But now he is saying they are Surottama, but still he is my son. So therefore it is that Sthila Swasambandha Asankuchita Anuragadhi. So his relationship did not become slackened or loosened like Vasudeva, Asankuchita. Therefore his love did not diminish. Because when Aishwarya comes, then love goes down. Then the reverence comes. The priti goes down, and the mood of reverence takes over. So he says, Asankuchita Anuragadhiryasya. His mind did not become constricted by this, no something, everything should go right. Like some big person comes, then you want to make sure that everything goes well with him. So he did not feel like that. His feelings were still prema rasveva. Ati praman adhikyava prema praman adhikyavata premno agamya agre aishwarya samudropi kiyanitiva. So his love was supreme, that nothing could diminish that. And it was so supreme that even if there is an ocean of Aishwarya, it cannot change his mood. So no matter, even if he sees Brahma praying to Krishna or reciting, Devas coming, this would not change their mood. That's why when Nanda Maharaj was kidnapped by Varuna, and then Krishna went to get him. So Varuna himself came and worshipped Krishna. So Nanda Maharaj was very stunned. He says, what is he doing? He is my son. And he is worshipping him and he caught me. What is this? So he was very astonished by it. But not that he gave up the idea that Krishna is not my son, he is some superhuman being. When he came, he was telling this to everybody. He says, I saw this very wonderful thing. And this guy, Krishna has got some special characteristic that Varuna came and worshipped, because Varuna is a big deal. If you read Rig Veda, it's all about so many praises of Varuna. So that's what he says, that Ati Pramanadhikyavataha Premno agamya. So his love cannot be understood, the depth of Nanda Maharaj's love for Krishna, and therefore in front of his love, the ocean of majesty of Krishna is nothing. Samudropi kiyaniti doesn't have much value. So now he talks about, Sukadeva Goswami talks about Yashoda, what was her situation. Shinvanti ashruni yava shrakshit sneha snuta payodhara no Yashoda varnyamanani putrasya charitani cha Shinvanti ashruni yava shrakshit sneha snuta payodhara. So when Nanda Maharaj was speaking like this to Uddhava, Yashoda was also nearby, and she was hearing all these activities described of her son. So here also for her it says Putrasya Charitani, that characteristics, activities of Krishna with her son. And while listening to this, only the tears were coming out from her eyes, and milk was flowing from her breast out of love. So she is old lady, how can milk come now at this stage? Milk comes when a woman gives birth to a baby, and that also stops after 1 year, 2 years, whatever. But now she is of advanced age, because Krishna was born when they were already old. So how the milk can come there? So this is scientifically proven fact. Modern science has proven it, that milk can still manifest out of love. And that's what is written here, Sneha Snuta Payodhara. That it is because of the Sneha, because of love. Because even the milk which mother gives to the baby, it is actually out of love only. It is a manifestation of love of the mother. Otherwise it does not come before the birth is given, because there is no one to give love to. So Sneha Snuta Payodhara. So much you can imagine the intensity of her love, that milk started flowing from her breast at this age, and she was just continuously stream of tears flowing from her eyes. एवं कृष्णस्य पिता नंद गांभीर्य बलादेव धृतिं धृत्वा लौकिक्या रीत्या उद्धवम् आतिथ्येन सम्मानयितुं सम्यक् ईक्षितुं परिचेतुं कुशलं प्रष्टुं कृष्ण प्रभावमयं चरितं च वक्तुं शशाक. So does Nanda Maharaj not have love for Krishna, that he was able to speak? So he says that he has love, but he is a very grave person, and with his fortitude he was able to control himself. And that's why it was possible for him that he was able to receive Uddhava as a guest. Otherwise it will not be possible to receive him and honor him as a guest and look at him properly and then recognize him that he is Uddhava, and then ask him how is everything, how is Vasudeva, how is Krishna, and then describe Krishna's activities, Krishna Prabhavamaya Charitam. So he was able to do all this because of his gravity, because of his fortitude, his forbearance. But that was not possible for Mother Yashoda. So for her it's just the opposite. Ability. She was not able to control her emotions because they were so powerful and so deep. So just like you go in a river and sometimes when the water is stagnant there is a what you call whirlpool, and you get caught in that. Once you get caught in that, even if you are the best swimmer, you cannot do anything because it's so powerful. So it was like that. That's why it says Adharya Sindhu Brahmi. That her instability was like an ocean, and inside the ocean there is a big whirlpool, and she was caught in that. So once you go into a whirlpool, sometimes you go down, sometimes you come up. So like that. So tat kimapi kartum na shashaka. Therefore she was not able to do any of these things. She was not even able to greet Uddhava and say anything or ask anything about Krishna. So that is her situation. Mathura prasthana dinam arabhyeva shatasahastri pums janaha prabodhyamanapi putra mukham vina anyat kimapi aham na drakshami. From the very day that Krishna left for Mathura, she was in this deep separation. And although hundreds of people came and spoke to her and tried to console her, don't worry, he will come back. He said he will come back. But she was not able to be consoled. She kept her eyes closed and she said that I don't want to see anything except the face of my son. Only when my son comes I will open my eyes and I cannot see anything else. Prabodhyamana api putra mukham vinanyat kimapi na drakshyami. Pratikshanameva pratijananam mudrita netra eva shruni avsamantat nij vastradikam aplavya srakshit. So continuously she was crying with eyes closed, and so much tears were flowing from her eyes that they were drenching her dress. Nijvastradikam aplavya srakshit. So srakshit comes from srij dhatu. Srij visarga means to release, to give up. So from this also comes visarga. So visasarjaya kevalam naitu uddhavam parichetum vatsalya vishaya kartum swam kinchit prashtum putram pati kinchit sandeshtum cha shakta ityartha. So the significance is that avashrikshit, that she was just releasing tears, is that she was not in a position to do anything. Thus she was not even in a position to recognize Uddhava and show her affection, because Uddhava is Krishna's cousin. So if she was in the normal state of mind, then she would receive Uddhava because Krishna's cousin, is friend of Krishna, is come here. So would receive him like a mother. But she could not. And she was unable to ask him anything even about Krishna. And there was no possibility that she could say something that please when you return back tell this to Krishna, that your mother has sent this message. So none of these things she was able to do. Snehena putra vishakena snuta payasau payodharo yasya. But because of her love to her son Sri Krishna, her breasts were flowing with milk. Sleshena Snutanam Varshne Jaldharaya Mana. So Payodhara also means cloud. Payodhara also means breast. So he says it is as if her breast became like clouds which are continuously pouring water. So like that, the milk was just flowing from her breast. So much love. Tayoritham Bhagavati Krishna Nanda Yashodayoho Vikshanuragam Paramam Nanda Mahodhavo Muda. So Uddhava, what was his reaction to all this? So he was astonished and very jubilant. He says when he saw the love of Nanda and Yashoda in Krishna, and he knows that Krishna is Bhagavan, so Bhagavati Krishna. So Paramam Anuragam, supreme love. Because he has not seen any love, anything like this before. He could not imagine that there can be such type of love. Even if he is their child, but so much love. So then he was jubilant. That although he should not be jubilant in this situation, but he felt inside very happy that I am so fortunate that I am able to see what it means to have love for Krishna. Because earlier he also thought he has love for Krishna. So now he realizes. And after realizing this, he is not feeling depressed, unhappy, jealous. He is feeling blessed, that I am blessed, that even to witness this is a blessing. So Viksha Gyata Charatan Mahapremako api Visheshane. So although he already knew this, and Krishna had obviously spoken to him about the love of Vrajvasis, but when you hear something, that is one thing, when you actually experience it, that is different. Sometimes the experience may not be up to the level the way you imagined. And sometimes the experience is even beyond. It says, I never thought it will be like this, so intense. So although he had knowledge about it, but now Viksha means he actually had an experience of it. So Visheshena Ikshitva Paramam Devaki Vasudevabhyam Sakashadapi Utkrishtam. So he could understand that the love of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda is much superior than the love of Vasudeva and Devaki. That is his analysis. And that's why he became happy that I am able to witness this. So Mudaiti Mamayata Janmeva Sarthakam Abhut Yad Idrisho Anurago Drishtaiti. He says, today my life has become successful because I am able to see such anurag, such love. So to even have darshan of such people, that is great fortune. Durlabho manuso janma dehi naam kshanava bhangura tatrapi durlabham manni vaikuntha priya darshan. So naratvam durlabham loke. So human birth is rare, but most rare is to have darshan of somebody who has prema for Krishna. And then to have prema like this is beyond anybody's imagination. So therefore he says, Yad idrisho anurago drishta. He says, I have seen such love, what more do I want? So therefore it is said muda. Tayor dukkha darshane api uddhavasya ananda. Although he is seeing their suffering, that they are suffering in separation, But he also understands that this suffering is not some material suffering. It is suffering in love. And he is able to witness this. Because he did not see this in Vasudeva and Devaki. They were not feeling this kind of separation. Although Krishna was away from them for 11 years. And here, he has been away only for a short time. And they are in so much separation. And at that time, Krishna's life was in danger, so they should be more worried. Vasudeva and Devaki. Now there is no such anxiety. So this he thinks that this is his perfection. Now he is thinking why Krishna sent me there. So we'll stop here. Any question? Yes, Tanmaji.
Babaji, I'm just trying to understand Uddhav's reaction here. So he seems to be sort of dispassionate. He's not affected by their suffering. Whereas generally if you see somebody, a mother or father crying, any normal person would feel bad for them. So I'm just trying to understand how he's able to be so detached from it so that he could actually feel happy at their love.
Well, because he is studying their love. Because nothing inauspicious has happened. Krishna is safe. Krishna is not lost for them. Krishna will also come back. Krishna himself has sent a message that he will come back. But he is seeing that with all this, how much love they have, this is what is giving him pleasure. If something bad has happened, then he would empathize with them. That is a different thing.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else?
Moiniji has two questions. She says, I have two short questions to yesterday's class. Yesterday it was explained with what intention Nand Baba used the name Govinda. So she is giving two argument. Govinda is also representing the Abhideya Tattva. Can you please explain what meaning is derived from the Go and Vinda in this context? Why Govinda stands for Abhideya?
What Abhideya? What is Abhideya?
As I understood, Govinda is representing Abhideya Tattva.
What is Abhideya? You answer my question.
Abhideya means the process. The process how to execute bhakti.
So how does it represent Abhideya?
This is how I understood that Madan Mohan is representing...
You understood, give me the explanation. You are just saying something. Tell me how Govinda is Abhideya.
This is what I heard.
So why you say this is what I understood? If you understood, you explain. You are simply saying I heard.
Okay, so I heard that Govinda is representing Abhideya Tattva. So how is this name Govinda in connection with Abhideya Tattva?
You did not hear this from me, so ask those from whom you heard it.
Okay, so this is therefore not a fact that the deity Govinda is in connection with Abhideya.
I don't know why people say that. So Govinda is only Abhideya, he is not a goal.
So from where does this idea come from? That
You have heard and you are asking me, what is this? Did I say anything about it? You said you have heard it, I have not heard it. And then you are asking me about it.
I see. Can I ask the second question? This is what I understood the intention of Nanda Baba using the name Govinda, and my second question is, what is Rupa Goswami's mood and intention when he calls his deity Govinda? Which meaning is Rupa Goswami conveying with his name?
Because according to Shastra, Govinda is the presiding deity of Vrindavan. This is described in Padma Purana.
Ah, that's the reason why he names this deity.
Yeah. Okay, Gopal Champu.